Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and here we are. We're gonna get into our second match of Gold to Diamond, and this is gonna be a PvT this time. A while ago, though, our Terran player faltering RJVP could not keep up with Agent X and her antics, and even though it was the legendary Battlecruiser Rush to try and look for a little bit of some value there, unfortunately for him, Agent X able to just basically out-micro his opponent, catch him out at a really weird time. And in all honesty, RJVP looking a little lost for wear there, but Agent X, proper timing, RJVP in the meantime, getting so much value there of those BCs. And say hello, guys, to Machi Bebe. This is Machi. She's a cute. And are you gonna enjoy the StarCraft game chat? Are you gonna enjoy the StarCraft game chat? I think she is as well. But without the sponsors, this tournament would not be possibility. And thank you to Pure PC as well as Block 101 for sponsoring the tournaments. Pure PC itself is actually going to be giving away a keyboard that we can show here for our Gold to Diamond prize. It's a Fnatic K613 Fighter TKL2 keyboard. And it really goes to show there's so much support here into the community's scene. In the meantime, Masters Plus going to have the bigger slice of the pie, bigger prize pool there. Everyone going to be coming out a winner, especially if you're able to make it in the money in the Quarantine Tournament number 5. In any case, though, looking at these two players, they're very familiar to me, especially Mr. Shenanigans. Now, the story about Shenanigans, as we said, guys, is he is the inaugural champion of the Quarantine Tournament for the Gold to Diamond bracket, and he's looking to regain his crown, especially in a meta that we all believe that suits him a lot better, because we're able to see him whip out yet again, well, what do you say, the Shenanigans build, the 1-1-1-1-1, all of the tech lab upgrades, the +1/+1 as well. Thing is, though, it does take a little bit of a while to go online with all of that working out for him. So there are really some times that people can take advantage of, well, the earlier builds, the more aggressive builds. And in a matchup against ZeraSmasher, I wouldn't be surprised to see that kind of setup actually happening, because ZeraSmasher has been a very practiced Protoss, to say the least. I see this guy always asking for tips, always asking for scrims, and it's ridiculous of how much work he's trying to put in the StarCraft community. So I love it. We have really gotten these kind of players that are so passionate about the game, that are really working hard to try and make it to the upper leagues, to say the least, to try and get that championship. And ZeraSmasher is only one of them, to say the least, because we have so many passionate players. We'll be featuring another one after this matchup, but don't go away, because we'll be going into map number 1 soon, and it is Deathaura LE. So all about aggression, as we say. It's on the smaller side. Gonna be pretty interesting, to say the least. ZeraSmasher, though, will be the man to show off for today, after we finished up Agent X and their matchup. So this is our second one for this set, and Deathaura is where we're gonna be. Now, will the practice of ZeraSmasher be enough? Will his efforts be enough to deal with the potential, the prodigy that is Shenanigans? I feel like this is one of those questions where it goes pretty deep, where we say it's something like, is hard work better than talent? Is that how this one is gonna go? There's so much on the line right now to make it to the quarterfinals. Every round absolutely matters. And let's not dilly-dally. Let's get into the game. Here we go! Into Deathaura LE. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is your second match of the SCPH Quarantine Tournament number 5, round number 3 broadcast. I am Daks, and I'm here to give you some more local action, to say the least. I'm very excited for this one. I'm very excited to highlight these two players, because we got ZeraSmasher here versus the side of Shenanigans. And let's introduce our players one by one. On the top left of Deathaura LE, he is your blue Protoss, and his name is ZeraSmasher. And his opponent here on the green Terran this time, look to regain that crown, looking to be the champion yet again. It is your green Terran, Shenanigans. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be going at it yet again. And this time, it's going to be that PvT, pretty much a standard that we see here in the SCPH scene. And in the Gold to Diamond, it really goes to show. It really goes to show that you see a lot more Protoss and Terran compared to the Zerg, because of, well, the whole maximum potential of Zerg in the higher tiers of play. Protoss and Terran a lot more accessible, especially Protoss itself. You need to be able to go for the spell casting spam, but at the same time, it really feels like it's gonna be a all or one kind of setup, because when you're playing Protoss, right, if you lose too many probes, you are just in such a bad hole compared to Terran and Zerg, where SCVs can be replaced by mules if need be, as well as the fact that drones can come in big cycles if something really major happens. In that case though, ZeraSmasher, it's all about him keeping his cool, keeping his calm, and at the very least looking to make sure that his psyche is enough to show off everything that he's been practicing so far into this set. Nexus first though, gonna be here, and immediately it's Shenanigans going for a bunker rush with a proxy, to say the least. Now, something to note is ZeraSmasher has had trouble dealing with cheese. It's very, very rattling to try and, you know, answer back against aggression like this. So we'll see right now if ZeraSmasher has learned enough of a lesson to hold the line, or will Shenanigans be able to play his namesake and figure something out. Unfortunately for ZeraSmasher though, it's too late to get rid of the SCV, and this bunker is already into play. We are gonna see the Marauder rush with the concussive shells, and in a case like this can be very, very effective against so many different units. Pretty interesting, you know, it's pretty interesting to say the least, because in a situation like this, the Marauder is going to be so very potent. Now, if you guys are having any trouble to watch the stream, don't forget that this has every single quality that you will need. So hopefully it is good on your side. In any case though, this Marauder now going to be hampering the pylon along the way. Going to be able to get the shutdown. This Nexus is going to look worse for wear. And at very least, using that Chrono Boost from the up and dying Nexus to get a Stalker online. All about the pokes and the prods though. And ZeraSmasher actually tried to go for the infiltration instead. This is going to be high time for the Adept to look for a pickoff or two. This Marine is looking to survive though. Can it actually get one more hit? 1 HP and a dream. That's the thing about the Adept sometimes, because you don't have that upgrade, you don't have the +1. You cannot two-shot these Marines. And with the Marauder into play, that Adept will go down. And you can really feel the pressure right now is mounting on ZeraSmasher's doorstep. In any case though, here we go with the Immortal. Look to get into play. Stalker gonna be also added up to the list, and the Warp Gate research is something to take note as well. But this is gonna be high time for these Marauders to hit those grenades as much as possible. Stalkers right now shutting that SCV down, and this is gonna be Shenanigans getting rid of the natural. But interesting enough, he's not able to macro as huge as we would expect. He's only getting his second command right now. He is gonna be getting a tech lab onto the factory though, and the question is, what's the plan here for Shenanigans? Good shutdown there onto the natural. Backs on the way immediately as soon as he sees the Immortal. The more or less more of a slowdown push rather than anything else. But in a case like this, with both sides just getting their own second bases up and running, it was ZeraSmasher put on the fast track instead. And it really feels like for ZeraSmasher, that was just the good response. And Shenanigans has to respect it. Because instead of forcing his way and just getting decimated by the Stalkers and the Immortals, at the very least, Shenanigans is only going to be behind because of losing that one Rapt, and since he doesn't have that starport as of yet. But a good defense here from ZeraSmasher, and in the end, this allows him to get that one gate, one robo, and even with the Cyber Core online, he can just get the higher tiers of tech. He can go for the drops right now with the Warp Prism. These are the Stalkers bonding the barracks as well, and I like this here from ZeraSmasher, moving that Warp Prism all the way to the north side to avoid the racks and its scouts. Even though ZeraSmasher gonna be looking for a drop, Sarcasm or Shenanigans should be aware of what is to come. Seeing that robo facility, drops can happen at any given time. And in a case like this is looking pretty exciting. This is our second match of the night though, guys. And if you are just tuning on in, we just finished Agent X versus RJVP a while ago with Agent X winning out in a fun 2-0. This time though, it's Warp Prism time for ZeraSmasher, and we'll see if he's gonna be able to smash these defenses. But Shenanigan, knowing exactly where to defend onto the map like this is something we talk about on maps like Deathaura as well as Eternal Empire. Drops are pretty much instrumental. You can really see Zerg hating it for that reason, because the Terran and the Protoss players can easily utilize spots like this to try and go for drop play in an instance in this scenario. So he's tanked though all the way in the back line. Gonna be able to get a few free hits here and there. The ball of Marines trying to defend, and this is now just gonna be ZeraSmasher looking to shut down a potential natural. Unfortunately though, Sarcasm or Shenanigans is already set on up. Here we go with the circumnavigation again around the world in 80 days. But sometimes, guys, you just gotta avoid those islands. And in a case like this, Shenanigans are those tribals saying that, no, you cannot land here, Mr. Magellan. There is no landing. There is no going around the world for you. Because that is gonna be that. As the Warp Prism backing on out, both sides getting deterred by each other, in all honesty. So this is what I see from this game. We saw a while ago Shenanigans started to go for the bunker rush, but since ZeraSmasher was cool, calm, collected enough to get the Immortal out, Shenanigans respects it and decides to retreat instead. At the same time though, Shenanigans able to answer back every single drop potential there from ZeraSmasher, and in the end, both sides are pretty even here into the setup. Now, the only thing that Shenanigans has going for him is the mule difference, which adds more minerals to his flavor. But at the same time, we will see both sides only on 2 gas, which means that they're going to be going for those more mineral-heavy units. And I wouldn't be surprised to see a few of these stalkers just basically be it there. Not too much of the immortal count, not too much of the sentry count. It's all about stalkers right now, because if you're thinking about gas, right, you need 2 stalkers to have enough gas to build 1 immortal or 1 sentry. So in a case like this, he's gonna be conserving. I wouldn't be surprised though to see him get those assimilators ASAP, because the Protoss absolutely needs that resource. Blink Stalker though gonna be into play soon. Will we see a bit of a timing push here from ZeraSmasher, because he's already on the march. 12 seconds left, and it seems like the Stalker Brigade is looking for the hunt, looking for a brawl. Another gateway also coming on in, and this is ZeraSmasher right now setting on up to have a Warp Prism on the outskirts of the rock formation. And ZeraSmasher gonna be waiting on down. Immortal gonna be there as well, and this is looking at a very, very big army here for the side of ZeraSmasher. Sarcasm though still in the lead on the army count, but with the Warp Prism difference, these are just gonna be cycle after cycle after cycles that help out ZeraSmasher and whatever the hell he wants to do. Immortal Sentry on the inside. Stalker's gonna be there. Viking though on patrol. Shenanigans making sure that he's gonna keep an eye out there. But the problem now is in the triangle formation on maps like this. It's so easy for the Blink Stalkers to move on forward, and he just needs to get rid of that siege tank to minimize that DPS. Beautiful force field, but put the infantry down. And this is ZeraSmasher playing it so very well. What a smart play here from our Protoss. Blink on forward, baiting him out to put that infantry all the way on the low ground, and there is just no way for the reinforcements to arrive here for Shenanigans. He has just been gated out of his own community, and even though the +1 will be going online soon here for the infantry, and the Gauntlet Shields are there for +10 HP, it's just a little too late, because the Stalkers now absolutely confident they are gonna go for the push, and the siege tanks are hitting the plates rather than anything else, rather than hitting the high ground, and we're seeing the Miss Micro again here in the gold to diamond bracket. But this is gonna be ZeraSmasher in a really good spot. He is looking right now to hamper every single thing that he can see in front of his eyes, and these Stalkers right now are dying sure, but the siege tanks are going to be a good target, and the blink on backward to save the day. GG is called, and ZeraSmasher will show his experience, will show his results, bearing fruits, and win out the first game against a returning champion here in the quarantine tournament. What a match that was. So there you go, guys. I love that one. ZeraSmasher playing it so very smart and just putting all the infantry there down below. A little bit better of target prioritization, gotta say. Go for the siege tank immediately, get that force field ASAP, and maybe a few snipes of the tech lab could have been a little better there, but the results do not lie. What's there? ZeraSmasher, absolutely potent with the, well, with the blink on forward, and that's what they keep mentioning, right, in maps like this, that when you have the 3-base setup that's a triangle, drop play is so smart. And for the Protoss, it's not just drop play, right? It's even that blink play. Blink on to the high ground, make it spicy. It's a one-way trip more often than not, but in a case like that, ZeraSmasher playing it so very well, and a very well-deserved victory. But I honestly thought Shenanigans could have taken it from the get-go with the immediate bunker rush, and you know, for ZeraSmasher, he has those jitters from time to time. He's very hard on himself, in all honesty, as I see in the chats. I'm like, okay, guys, you gotta chill. You gotta chill. But it really goes to show his efforts are bearing fruits. And a one map take against Shenanigans is no laughing matter. It really feels like that was pretty well executed there from ZeraSmasher. But the second map now gonna be more on the aggressive side, even more so, because it's time now to go into the smallest map, the Petites a la mode that we call Submarine LE. TBT action yet again, but ZeraSmasher now is just one map away from moving on to the next round. Pretty interesting though, to say the least. And you know, it was just all about the respect there from both sides. But honestly, it feels like sometimes when you respect your opponent too much, that's where it kind of falls apart, because you're not really seeing that you have this advantage that you can go for the push. And you don't need to be scared off in a way. So it's tit for tat sometimes. Respect should be given to make sure that you're not going to be overcommitting. But you also have to know when you're going to commit. You gotta be able to commit even further if need be. In any case, though, let's get into the game. And here we are. Game number 2. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. And this is game number 2 out of 3 between Sarcasm or Shenanigans versus ZeraSmasher. And let's just get down to it. Introducing first, here on the southeast side of Submarine LE. This is your Purple Protoss, looking pretty regal to say the least. He is 1 map ahead, and he's trying to do the best he can here at the Quarantine Tournament number 5. His name is ZeraSmasher. And his opponents, here on the top left instead, a returning champion, but this might be the fall from grace here. You know, every king needs a crown, but sometimes there is something called lineage. That is something called succession. Question is, will it be the time for this player to bow on down? Or can he go for the reverse sweep? That's the real question here. His name is Shenanigans. So ladies and gentlemen, here we go yet again. PvT on Submarine. And the last time we've seen Submarine played often in the quarantine setup, we've seen a lot of different proxies here and there. Proxy Robo actually a pretty popular choice on Submarine LE. You can just hide it on one of the cliffs that the other player won't be using, and then surprise, surprise, Immortal already on your doorstep. But ZeraSmasher deciding, hey, it's PvT, I'm good to go for the Nexus first, gonna go for the Cyber Core, though with the 1 gate 1 core expand. And in a case like this, gonna be high time for the Reaper to try and find a little bit more. Natural also being built by Mr. Shenanigans. He's gonna go for the immediate expansion rather than the Factory first, feeling that he's very, very confident in a setup like this. But look at this probe. I already know it's gonna put down a pylon somewhere. Question is though, where is this going? What are we doing here? ZeraSmasher, what is this journey I see? Now, in maps, when you looked at these side angles, you go to the very, very west, north, south, east part of the map. You can usually hide a few things here and there, and it seems like ZeraSmasher is looking to build by the biodomes, looking to build something with this probe. Seems like though on the defensive end though, he's getting the shield battery on the main base, which is a pretty interesting call. You don't really see this early, and we'll see if Sarcasm can do something about it. Coronado Reaper getting all the intel. Stargate opening is being given here by ZeraSmasher. But I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for the cancel just to bait out his opponent in terms of that intel, because he's waiting for this probe to be given an opportunity to do something. In any case though, Adept was waiting for the Reaper, and goodbye and good night. Seems like though the Stargate will be fulfilled, and the question is, what is this probe gonna be doing instead? These Adepts though on the hunt, 2 of them looking to march on forward, and we keep saying on Submarine, very easy for ground units to just go all the way through the diagonal and get to the opposing base even quicker. Still though, what's gonna be the plan here? Into the middle line we go, and ZeraSmasher given the opportunity. Mule drop onto natural, but as soon as the shades come, it's already Shenanigans, knowing it's important to keep that full energy Mule alive for maximum minerals. Still though, mining time has already been dissipated, and Warp Gate research is going online soon, but Shenanigans is gonna do it again. He went for the Proxy Racks a while ago, he's gonna go for the Proxy Starport this time. And this is such a make or break moment here for Shenanigans, because it really feels like he's risking it all, going for these aggressive plays. In any case though, ZeraSmasher right now with the Adepts, and oh my, it's the Void Ray. Interesting call, and he's gonna go for a second one as well. 12 Castle gonna be there, so this might be a glaive play with some Void Rays here. I believe I've seen this before into the higher tiers. I can't remember where exactly. This is looking very, very familiar to me. These Void Rays gonna be melting apart every single thing on the ground if given the opportunity. And it's basically anti-light versus anti-armor on 2 different specialties. These Adepts gonna be very strong with the glaives. Attack speed gonna be amplified there. And yeah, it is gonna be the glaive opening with the Void Rays. We'll see what this is all about. Usually though, I do see it's Phoenixes with the Adepts, but against Terran, it makes a little bit of sense because you want to make sure that you're gonna be hurting those Marines where it counts. At the same time, you're gonna be tanky enough, and you use the Adepts to basically blockade those Marines if need be. Now, you can say, though, that the Phoenixes are good for the harassment, but when there are too many Marines there on the other side, then that's a problem. Those Phoenixes are gonna be absolutely paper thin and completely useless against whatever the Terran has. The interesting call, to say the least. The Voiders have been exposed, though, as the Hellions have gotten the run by into the natural, and that's a big hit, actually, courtesy Shenanigans. He gets 8 of those probes, and now he's going for the 3 racks on 2 base. He's also going to go for a second starport, interesting enough, just in case his starport can't make it, but it's already here, guys. Hello, I have made it to my docking zone. Can I have your form, sir? It's time to park this one down and see what this is all about. In any case, though, here we go again. ZeraSmasher gonna be going for the Void Rays as well as the Adepts. Though Siege Tanks gonna be in order. The Glaze will be going online soon. Interesting Chrono Boost. How many Void Rays do we have? 3 of them coming online here. A small map like this, easy for these Void Rays to speed on through. Reinforcements have arrived. And the question right now is, what are the Glaze gonna be all about? Wide People Wall, though, is open for now, open for business. And with a proxy gates set on up, ZeraSmasher will get a big force of reinforcements. This is because he doesn't want to go for the robo facility in a setup like this. He wants to commit onto the Void Rays. He wants to commit onto the Adepts. And this is a good number of Adepts looking to go for the push. Interesting wall of gateways, though. In all honesty, Artosis Pylon, one surgical strike can shut this down immediately. But here we go. Prismatic alignment has been popped into the siege tank. We go immediately, and these attempts are just looking to be more than a handful. This is way too much for Shenanigans to handle. The army count is so substantial, and this might be it. The Void Rays, an epic surprise out of nowhere, just turning everything into a laser beam show. And even though we do see Shenanigans yet again going for combat shield, this is something we were talking about for quite a while already. Shenanigans and his Fireball is a little later to the party than more often than not the usual timings, because he wants to go for all the upgrades in the world and more. He loves to play the economy, but GG is called, and what a play here from ZeraSmasher. He'll be able to take the 2-0 and take this win. Move on to the quarterfinals of the Quarantine Tournament number 5. Okay. Void Ray Adept. I am now a believer. That is GG right there. Absolutely great play from our boy ZeraSmasher. Really proven that he's doing his homework, and that's something we've seen. So I'm looking at chat right now, and ZeraSmasher himself saying that this is yeah, it's just gonna be pretty interesting. Gonna be pretty interesting. That's the Void Event. It's a parting, parting plays yet again. And a while ago, we saw some winter plays from HNX. This time, we saw some parting plays here from ZeraSmasher. Really going to show, though, that people who do their research are just able to have so much success, and I love it, because you can always learn from the better players, and why not learn from the best players, right? Why not see their strategies, surprise their opponents? And it's a pretty interesting call to go for the Adept and the Void Rays. I see it work, especially on a map like this. Go for the proxy gateway, you surprise your opponent with the Voids, and in an instance like that, usually, right, your Terran opponent is not going to have too many Marines. If not, they're not going to go for the early aggression. It's all about that call, though. It's all about seeing how many things there are, and since you're going to be focusing on the Adepts anyway, they can stand toe-to-toe against so many Marines. Glaives, so instrumental in that case, and in all honesty, it really was the fact that we saw the Adepts able to get in a good position every single time. Shut down the Reaper, go into natural, even get in the face of the Fireball before it gets too insurmountable. And well played there for ZeraSmasher. Not only the right call, but also the right time. And people take note, that's something you can always do as a Protoss. In any case, though, we are going to be getting into our next game very, very soon. It's our next match. But ZeraSmasher has gotten the 2-0 lead. And when we come back, we'll be getting into one final gold to diamond bracket matchup before we move on to Masters Plus. And this one's going to be a treat because, well, it's a certain someone getting their debut. And we'll see if the curse can be broken. It's going to be pretty exciting. I'll just show you guys on screen. Oi! You're not allowed to cast your game! Okay, so you already know. We will have Mr. Malapate versus Claw in a best of 3 in a PvZ. We will be right back. Stay tuned. Stick around. This is Quarantined Tournament 5.